Hello, dear audience. My name is Petri Hollmén. I'm the founder and the CEO of Lyyti, and I'm super excited to welcome you to learn more about the global use case of a very, very traditional company and a traditional business. I'm here with Sami Virtanen from Wärtsilä, and personally I know Wärtsilä's business about the huge ship engines that are actually the old versions are sitting by the river Aura in my home city. But could you, Sami, tell us a bit about the now current day's business that Wärtsilä is running?
Yes, so Wärtsilä is a global key player in the maritime industry, but also in the energy industry. And like you mentioned, the engines that we have are the core business of our product portfolio, but of course we offer various other solutions for those industries as well. I think if I remember correctly, we have 80 gigawatts of power provided to different power plants across the world. 180 different countries utilizes Wärtsilä solutions to generate power to those countries. And every third ship, commercial ship that sails on the seas has Wärtsilä equipment. So you can say that we are one of the market leaders in marine industry and a not so small player in the energy either.
One of the things that we have in common is that we have in multiple events powered by Lyyti, but you have in multiple ships powered by Wärtsilä. But ships are not the only use case for your engines. There's a lot of other locations as well for your power plants.
Correct. So it's land and sea. So one of the most recent ones being the data centers. So that's one of the sectors that we are penetrating at the moment, and I'm excited to see how far we are going with that. But when it comes to our business, we are looking to provide or support sustainable societies through innovation and services. So constantly looking how we can make those industries more sustainable. So be it more efficient engines or utilizing future fuels in those engines so we can reduce those emissions of those industries to net zero one day.
I think we're going to speak a lot more about data as well today, not only about the data centers, but the data itself as well. And so you work as a digital marketing manager in Wärtsilä. Could you shortly describe like your main responsibilities, maybe also the team, how you're organized within that domain?
Yes. So my current position in digital marketing in Wärtsilä is that we have a group level team that is built to enable our business marketing teams to conduct their work in a best possible way and provide them the opportunities to do their work more efficient and more productively, and also looking at the future capabilities of marketing. So we have in our team we have a person overseeing the website for us, data analytics, and I'm overseeing the marketing tech stack and how we can find the best possible capabilities for our business team needs and what tools to use it, what processes, etc.
And that's the one reason why we're here. You have a pretty global marketing tech stack. So basically, you run on top of Salesforce for the customer data. You run on top of Lyyti for all the event management in every market. And if I understood right, the business marketing teams, they are regional or country specific, but you have centralized the stack for them.
Correct. So we have a couple of different setups. We have 3 different business units in Wärtsilä. So marine energy and energy storage. And energy is more organized regionally, whereas marine is more organized in a product line way. So there are different needs. So it's good to have this kind of a central management of the tech stack so we can find synergies between the business units as well in terms of utilizing the tech stack.
Yeah. You're basically building and selling huge engineering products. not very tangible, I would say, but not easy to deliver a sample, for example. So I think this is my guess. There's some connection between events and the nature of your products. Could you describe a bit of that?
Absolutely. So the nature of our products is also something that translates into how those deals are formulated. And our sales cycles can be anything from 3 months to 5 years. And when you have those kind of sales opportunities that might last for 5 years, there is a lot of discussions happening between people and getting to know the potential customers, and events play a huge role in that sense.
I'm super excited about this use case because we speak about events, we speak about sales cycle, we speak about event data, participant data, marketing data, and all of that. Could you shortly describe for our listeners how you have organized or structured your event? Do you have different event categories? How do you use events? And how do you run them? I understood that you're not the guy, running around the venue and organizing chairs, but also maybe a few words about your role in this event management.
Yeah, so I would be the tech guy, so making sure that everything within Lyyti runs smoothly for our business teams. And one thing that I applaud Lyyti for is that you develop your platform with your customers. So when we provide feedback, you take it into account in the development roadmap, which is very exciting for us. And
nice to hear. Nice to hear.
And when it comes to the event categories, we orchestrate webinars, these kind of expert sessions where people can go and listen and talk with the experts on certain products or solutions. So we can utilize Lyyti for those kind of thought leadership events. And then I would say that the majority of our events evolve around these customer events. So these on-site sessions where we can invite our customers and potential customers to have those meaningful one-to-one discussions with them face to face. And of course, investor relationships are also orchestrating their different calls and events through Lyyti.
So you have pretty much all the stakeholders covered with your events. Is there any stats that you can reveal, the number of events or participants or sales results maybe?
Out of interest, I did look up this morning that we have had 4,500 registered participants this year globally for our Lyyti events, and I think it was around 30,000 emails sent through Lyyti to those participants. Sales numbers I don't dare to talk, but
we all know that the opportunity sizes are big. So you're selling big and important stuff and true events as well.
Correct, and events are a key part in that marketing mix.
Yeah.
So when you have people joining events, it's a very strong signal from the prospects and customers to you. So we want to leverage that opportunity in further marketing motions as well. So having those lead nurturing programs after people have attended event and based on the data that we have gathered from the events. And then, but like we discussed, that the sales cycles can be long. So the measuring of ROI and attributing different weights to different marketing motions can be difficult when the sales cycles are long. But
let's get into the ROI a bit later. But you've been with Wärtsilä for quite long. Next year, it's your 10th anniversary, if I understood right. And we've been there for 6 years, building kind of like a lot of processes with you as well. But if you look based on your experience, like the biggest single change that has happened within marketing, or it can be within event marketing as well, what could you name as one topic from your perspective?
I would say that the biggest change that I have witnessed in these 10 years is it has to be the amount of data that we can gather from digital and physical touch points and to be utilized in digital marketing. And now we are getting into the phase with AI where we can truly gain deep understanding and predictive analytics from those touch points and data.
So next we're gonna discuss about the global usage. We have quite many customers who actually have global businesses, and they are on a different phases of kind of like harmonizing the tech stack within the marketing and event marketing in different countries. But you are pretty far there. So could you shortly give a bit of flavor about how you have organized yourselves in the marketing, and how do you run the events, and in how many countries you, for example, do events?
Yes, so we have organized us in a way that we don't have, if we talk about Lyyti usage and events, for example, that we utilize our business unit marketing teams to conduct their work inside Lyyti. So it's not regional per se, but we have divided them between the businesses, and we have event categories for our different businesses within Lyyti.
This is a very concrete question. Do you have Lyyti users in every country and every market, or is that centralized?
So the Lyyti users are covering, for example, because we have different setups for energy and marine. Yeah. So the marine marketing ops team is orchestrating the global parts of their business. But then again, in energy, they are more regional, so they have regional marketing teams. So they are covering their respected regions when it comes to events.
We have quite many customers who are actually acting globally. They have business in multiple countries. Some of them are very far in harmonizing the tech stack and processes. Some of them are just starting. But I think you are quite far. You have very centralized way of managing your tech stack and data and events. So what could be your kind of like key criteria for choosing Lyyti as your event management software for global use?
So our key reasons why we are with Lyyti is that, of course, we are looking that one platform that we can, like you mentioned, centralize the usage, so we don't have multiple different pockets of event management tools, and then because integration to our core marketing automation platform, which is in Salesforce, is one of the key criteria for our marketing tech stack, but especially for events as well, because we want to utilize that event data in our marketing motions. So integration to Salesforce is one. Competitive pricing, the opportunity of having that brand management inside Lyyti, so we can have master templates for people and layouts to utilize within. And the UI is easy to use, so it's a very user-friendly platform, and the customer success has been fantastic as well. So I can always rely on our account executive to be responsive if something is needed, and the support that Lyyti provides is very something that we appreciate as well.
That's very heartwarming to hear. That's something that we've been building the past 18 years, and that's nice that the feedback comes directly from a customer. But if we speak about a bit of the maybe the challenges when you have users in many countries, you have different culture. You mentioned the brand management. So what could be your tips for a company who's planning on going to more centralized model, but you want to keep the local flavor there? So how do you benefit from Lyyti in making sure that the brand is correct in all the markets, for example?
That's a very good question, and to keep the brand consistent globally, it starts from how you communicate those brand guidelines within the company and the culture, how people adapt those brand guidelines. So if you have that in a good shape, those safeguards in the tactical level are not maybe that mandatory, but of course you can ensure that people stay brand consistent when you have those layouts that you can provide and templates that you can provide to users. But of course it makes their work a lot easier as well, because then they have something that they can always return to. So when you have brand guidelines that are adaptive enough that you can give that local flavor through imagery or tone of voice or whatever the local culture might require in those different regions of the world.
So it seems that you are using templates quite a lot, both in ready-made events and email communications and different touch points.
Correct. So we manage them centrally. So I am usually the one who is then doing the heavy lifting when it comes to our templates, making sure that they are brand compliant, and I'm liaisoning with our brand team that everything looks according to brand from their perspective, and then educating the user base to utilize those. Once you grow big enough, of course, you cannot be always like 100% accurate, but you don't need to be. So of course you aim to be as brand compliant as you can, but don't beat yourself up if there are like small things every now and then that you find that you are not brand compliant. So
and quite often the event managers, or especially in the local level, they are not brand professionals, or they might not even be marketing professionals. So is there any tips or tricks to kind of like help them? For example, how do you do your internal support of those people?
Good question. For us, the tiering of the support, I would say, is that I'm a strong believer of democratizing the work when it comes to utilizing these marketing platforms. So when you have those champions in your regions or within your teams or organizations, they know that they have somebody that is sitting close to them that they can go to whenever they have questions. So then you can, as a central person, you can more have those discussions with the key users and educate them and the local people whenever needed, but then making sure that the champions are also contributing to that knowledge sharing, so it trickles across the organization.
Yeah, I think it sounds quite natural behavior that it's easier to approach your colleague who is the champion, knows a lot. Is this a similar way that you work with other platforms, Salesforce, for example? So it's easier to go to your colleague, and then kind of like second level or more technical support is then given by the platform?
That would be correct. So that is the approach that we aim to have in multiple different places, that once your user base grows big enough, it's quite a big of a burden for one person to manage it. So it makes sense that you have those colleagues that you can trust that they are also providing that knowledge across their relevant teams and organizations.
Maybe this is a good tip for those who are planning to go in the more global scale of usage, that try to empower those champions as well and make sure that they have access to the right support level, so they don't need to always to go to the kind of like the basic level.
Correct. And also promote knowledge sharing across the whole organization. So one team might have great ways of processes to do something within the platform, which could benefit other teams as well. So sharing those horizontally as well. So not everything has to be
in silos.
Or trickled upwards and then across the organization, but having that, making sure that you have a platform where people can share knowledge, and then centrally we take care of the overall documentation of the processes and the best practices.
Yeah. But do you have, for example, some internal channels for Lyyti users and they discuss their best practices, or how does that knowledge sharing happen?
So we do have a Teams. We are a heavy Microsoft house as well. So we do have a Teams channel for various different marketing technologies that we can then discuss within or across the whole marketing function of Wärtsilä.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So then it's not behind one individual, the information publicly available. Let's go back to data. This is, I think, where we started from. Your experience is that the amount of data is growing, but of course you need to be able to understand what's important and the impact and what kind of changes you then implement because of the data. We speak quite a lot about the event success and measuring of that. So how do you internally define, for example, event success? What is a successful event for you?
And a successful event for Wärtsilä is, of course, when we're looking at a global scale, that there might be some business that comes out of it, or we have happy people attending them. So the customer feedback for the events is, of course, important. When it comes to those marketing KPIs, they are then defined by the businesses. So they measure things that are then relevant to them. So, for example, do they have, for these annual events, do they have people coming back, for example, that how many customers are revisiting a certain event, and also they are relying quite a lot on the word of mouth inside the events, and then documenting them within their businesses and collecting feedback. We know we could be better at with Lyyti's EVS scoring, but our businesses that want to have also that information inside Salesforce, so they might be collecting that information afterwards through other channels, so it can be documented in CRM.
It seems that you measure multiple KPIs, and depending on the nature or the kind of like how would I say, in which part of the funnel the event actually stands. So you mentioned you have thought leadership events, then you have more like handpicked individual VIPs where I think you try to enhance the closing of the deal and so on. But if you would need to decide like one North Star metric for your events, what would that be?
Ideal world, that would be measuring the ROI of the events.
Yeah.
But coming back to that we measure it wherever we can. So when we can track it all the way to those one opportunities in CRM. But of course, it's not possible in all cases. But wherever we can, that is, I think, the core function of marketing is to increase your sales. So whenever we can provide positive ROI in our marketing efforts, that's where the beef is for marketing, for sure.
Yeah, I think the old saying goes that half of the marketing activities are waste of money, but nobody knows which half. Exactly. But I do hope that the KPIs that you're able to bring truly to Salesforce and kind of like enrich the opportunity data and information helps you to define which of the events are a waste of money and which are not.
Exactly.
Good. Still about the data, and I would like to understand, because you have your marketing automation, the CRM on top of Salesforce, and then you have Lyyti for your events. So how does the event data, the participant data, for example, participation or no-show, these kind of pieces of information, how do they impact then, for example, the lead quality or lead scoring or actions for the sales?
So the impact of those different participant statuses, for example. So we can we can do scoring inside marketing account engagement inside Salesforce. Yeah. That if somebody takes a positive engagement or activity as a prospect, we can score it based on what the business had decided that how valuable something is. So when we are tracking that somebody has attended an event, for example, they are then scored based on that inside Pardot for the old hats, so the Marketing Cloud account engagement, and those people then will enter various kind of nurturing programs that can be set up based on the theme of the event, for example, and then also, of course, trying to nurture those no-shows and see if there is any resonation for them, despite them not attending the event.
Yeah, this is a pulse question. How would you rate the importance for the lead scoring of 3 different participations or activities done by the prospect? First, we have read a blog post. Second, we have joined an online event of yours. Third, we have joined a live event. Is it that the order? Or
I would say it's the reverse order. So live events are still king.
Yeah.
And especially in our kind of business where deals are not made out of the blue, that people are calling, hey, I want an engine. Yeah. So it takes a lot of work from the customer and a lot of work from us as well to get to know the potential customers. Yeah. So live events definitely number 1 spot. Online events number 2, and I'd say blog post coming 3.
Yeah, and I think I've seen your live events participating the Event Awards competition as well. So you're producing them on a very, very high class.
That's
congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Good. Final topic is the data again, but the data security and GDPR. We know as European companies that we are all about the GDPR and very careful about going by the book and following those rules. But you have global reach. You work in the US, different world, in Africa and Asia. So what kind of a role does data security and GDPR play in for you from the marketing perspective?
So data security from marketing's perspective is something that we aim to be world class at. So that is something that we take very seriously. And also when it comes to our platforms in general, that our IT has very rigorous architectural review processes for all the applications that we are using. So ensuring that they are compliant within EU and wherever it may be. So first and foremost, making sure that you're following the local regulations. But a good rule of thumb is that if you have the platform working for EU, it's probably compliant. You can trust that it's compliant across the board. And we do have those data retention policies in place in Lyyti, which are very valuable to us, so we can anonymize the participant data after a certain period of time, for example, and trust that the data is handled securely. So one of the things I appreciate from Lyyti is that you document your information security things on your site, and your support is helpful, providing any other information related to those for us. So it makes our life easier as well, and our IT can sleep better their nights.
Yeah, and actually we can sleep better as well when you take care of that. Thank you for this very interesting discussion. It's been a pleasure to serve, of course, your company and also learn more about your use cases. And I do hope that our audience got some good tips and tricks and advice for harmonizing and globalizing the tech stack, so to speak. Thanks a lot and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you very much, Petri. It was a pleasure to be here.